and we're going to give a moment for people to come in as the attendees number you'll see start going up. And
we'll wait till 7 o'clock to get started.
Okay.
And Coach, when we have questions, so the participants will be able to type the questions in.
The Q&A.
Would you prefer to like me to stop you as you're going, or just wait till the end for questions?
Just stop me as we're going, Neil.
Okay. All right.
Neil, you had a great year last year.
It was a good season, man. We lost our tight end / defensive end, the district MVP, in the first quarter in that semifinal game against LCA. He got hit in the head pretty good and was knocked out. He didn't know where he was, so that kind of changed the game plan a little bit. But those suckers were good, man. But no, it was a good year.
I was telling, I can't remember who I was talking to the other day, and we're always in meetings on Friday nights. I usually come home and call my brother-in-law, or I call Nagel and ask what the scores were, and our turn on Jimmy Roy and them, and listen to them. But that Friday night that y'all were playing Newman, we got in early. I don't know why, and the game was on, and that was a great one.
Yeah, that was a good one. They got a good team, and old Arch, he's a heck of a quarterback. We just kind of old Randy Linedecker and Derek Stingley Sr. put together a game plan and made it for a tough night for them, you know.
Y'all did a great job there. I was that had to be a big night on the road and really good.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I tell you what, it's a really small, closed-in little atmosphere there, but it's nice for a ball game. I mean, for our two schools, the size schools they are.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a perfect size crowd, and no, it was a fun night for sure. It was good.
Okay. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Got a lot of folks piling in. Coach, we're going to give it about 60 more seconds, and then we'll get started. That way we can start on time and finish on time for you. Coach Jimmy Roy sent a question. He wants to know what's in that cup.
It's water, and I ain't supposed to be doing this either.
There you go. Well, Coach, it's 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll have some people that'll join in as we go. Coaches, if you notice at the bottom of your screen, you got a chance to ask some questions in the Q&A portion. And as they come in, I'll feed them to Coach Ensminger so that he can answer. And we'll try to make sure it's relevant to what he's talking about at the time. And if not, I'll just wait till the end, and we'll open it up for questions. Guys, most of you folks know who's presenting tonight. You wouldn't be here if you didn't know who he was. But Coach Ensminger is a Louisiana man. He's a Baton Rouge man. He's a Tiger, and he's done a fantastic job leading this LSU offense. Most of you know he was a quarterback here in the late 70s, not the early 70s, but the late 70s for Coach Mack. And as a matter of fact, when he was the starting quarterback, they led the nation in offense. And, when he got the opportunity to become the offensive coordinator a few seasons ago, he picked right up where he left off, and they led the nation in offense. In 2016, Coach Ogeron took over as the interim head coach. He promoted Coach Ensminger to be the play caller. And the very first night, LSU went out and broke SEC records against Missouri. And I was going to share my screen here for a second. Coach is one of the most humble guys. He's going to deflect credit all the time. But they had a good young assistant that helped out last year, and a lot of people know the name Joe Brady. But Coach Ensminger is the man. He's the one that was calling the plays. He was the one that was working with Joe Burrow. And if you go back and look, this play right here, this is the first play of the 2016 Missouri game, backed up after a penalty on the -7, and he comes out and trips in the shotgun and going to throw stick slant. It's the same exact kind of stuff they were doing this year. Coach this year, of course, led the greatest offense in the history of college football, Heisman Trophy winner. Man, we're so excited to have Coach Ensminger share tonight, and I want to turn it over to you, Coach.
Thank you, Neil. I appreciate it. And let me tell you, I appreciate all the praise and everything else, but it was a magical season. It really was, and it just all come to place. You've been there and done that, but everybody who came back, our team bought in. We had Thad Moss, who had a great year, who didn't even play the year before. We had Clyde Edwards, who had an outstanding year, and of course a couple of young receivers had outstanding years. But I tell you, the tribute is Coach Orgeron. It's about developing players, and that's what we do here. Every day we go out there, we get 30 minutes individual quarterbacks. Actually, because of special teams, we get about 50 minutes individual quarterbacks. But every position is trying to get better every day, fundamentally, and then the energy that he brings, and then the motivation that he brings, and then the effort that these young men gave us this year is unbelievable. And it's obviously you won a national championship. It's probably the greatest year of your life. But I'll say this: it was the best year of my life because we had a team that believed in team, and we had a team that just all bought into what we were doing. And football was everything to them, and we had no problems. You love coaching when you go to school and you get on the field and you're coaching, and you're not getting academic reports. You're not getting, hey, this young man missed curfew, or this young man did this, and we had none of it. So besides the accolades that all these guys got, besides winning a national championship, it was a great year to coach just because young men we coached. What we're going to do here is kind of set a schedule for you. I'm going to start off and literally tell you what our offensive philosophy is. And this is just what we tell the kids and everything else, and what our plans are for this offense from last year and again this year. Then we're going to go through a couple of fundamental quarterback fundamental drills that Coach Russ Callaway is going to take you through. And then, excuse me, we're going to take you through our best run for the year, some of the play action passes, some of the run tacks off of it. And then we're going to get into some of our drop back passing concepts. And specifically, we love throwing the ball down the field this year. And obviously we had receivers who go get it. And obviously we had a quarterback who was very accurate. And I want to show you some of them concepts. And we'll keep talking and answering questions until the time is over with. And Neil, you tell me to get off the darn Zoom, okay? So here we go. Neil, y'all can see that?
We're good.
Okay, that's what I need to know. All right. Going into it, our offense philosophy is really not a hard one, and everybody kind of does the same thing. We try to keep it simple. It's going into a ball game. Last year, we never went to a ball game with more than 6 runs. If you break down our offense and our runs and everything else, we're basically a duo team. We're basically an inside zone team. We're an ISO team. We have a little bit of quarterback reads, but we have run tags on most of our runs. We have play action pass off every run that we have. But I just don't believe, and this is not from this year, this is from years of experience or years of the past, whether I'm right or wrong. I don't think what defenses are doing nowadays and running multiple defensive fronts and coverages and everything else, that you can actually run 9 or 10 running plays and actually have time to practice it and execute it and perfect it versus all the defenses you're going to see. You're going to see an odd front. You're going to see an over front. You're going to see an under front. You're going to see a bear front. You're going to see man coverage. You're going to see quarter halves. You're going to see zero coverage. So, we try to keep it simple and we try to rep it, rep it as many times as we can versus each defense and each read that quarterback has to have to perfect that and know where he's going with the football. Keep it simple. We run a system with a limited number of schemes, execute perfection with the ability to add tags to control the extra defenders in the box. There's always one extra, whether you're 4 wides or whether you're 3 wides or whether whether you're 5-man protection, 6-man protection, 7-man protection, and somebody's trying to add on, the quarterback has to know who that is. The quarterback has to take care of that extra defender, and that's the reason that, hey, we do all of it. And we had a very good quarterback who understood the system and did a great job for us. The pass system designed to stretch the defenses vertically and horizontally, how they playing it, different defenses came out and wanted to play man to us. So, hey, they wanted to play man. We tried to stretch it. Stretch it vertically. They wanted to play zone. We tried to stretch it horizontally. So we didn't have a whole lot of passing scheme. We just did a lot of it out of a lot of different formations and moved our guys around and tried to find mismatches for Jamar Chase or Terrence Marshall or Justin Jefferson or Clyde Allaire or Thad Ball. So it's not that complicated, and we just try to rep it as many times as we can to perfect it. We will get our speed in space, and we're a spread offense with open formations. We can condense our offense, but when we condense our offense, we still threaten the field horizontally and vertically with our passing game, with our run action, with our play action passes, and our quick game. And I think that's the biggest thing that we do. Hey, we tell them everyone eats. We go out there, myself, and even when Joe was here and Burrow, hey, I don't know where it's going. So you know what? Hey, it better be full speed. It better be exactly everything else. But he's going to make the decision to throw the football right here. Hey, expect the football. So when we practice and when we do run-throughs and we do 7-on-7, it's got to be full speed because I don't know where the ball is going. As I'm watching it upstairs, I know where it should be going, and it ain't always perfect. But that quarterback has to find a decision. We tell our quarterbacks, hey, you got the key to the car. Hey, I'm putting it in your hands. I'm going to try to put you in the best play I can put you in, but it's not going to be perfect. So, hey, let's have the answers to it. And so far, and last year was outstanding to do it, okay? We want to have the ability to score from anywhere on the field in a short amount of time. We did that this year, We tried to take what defense gave us. I think the best thing we did this year all year was throw the ball vertically, and I'm going to show you some of that and have the answers to where, hey, where the blitz is coming from. Do I have the answer to it? On the run tag, do I have the answer to it? Changing the protection, do I have the answer to it? So I can't remember, but I know this for a fact from reading some of the stats after the game, which I don't do very often. Analysts give that to me. They tell me where we were, but we did a really good job of scoring quickly, and I think it's important that, defenses came out and ran different defenses against us that we haven't seen. And so we're trying to adjust to it up in the box and everything else. But I think the one thing that we did is kind of like, okay, whether it was Texas, whether it was Auburn, whether it was Georgia, whatever, is say, hey, you know what? Let's see if they can get it lined up if we can go fast. And so a lot of times we said, hey, to hell with it. You know what? I'm not going to let you do all that stuff. We're going to go fast and see if you can get lined up. And it benefited us. Apply pressure and attack, okay? Control and dictate the tempo. Everything should feel like warp. Hey, everything should feel like warp speed. Whether it's a look over, whether it's a false cadence, whether it's a long cadence. Hey, we talked about get lined up. It should feel like warp. And it keeps the defenses from looking over to see it, or, hey, you better get lined up. You're not going to have time to look over. Are we fixing to throw the football downfield? Are we fixing to run the football? So everything has to feel like it's warp speed to try to keep the defense on their heels. Make defenses defend every blade of grass, okay? And that's it. You know, whether it's a run, whether a run tag, whether, hey, we're running this football, what if pressure comes from the field? Do you have the answer? What if pressure comes from the boundary? Do you have the answer? What if the seventh guy in the box is a nickel back, is a field safety, or is a boundary safety? Okay, how are they going to try? Defense are going to try to stop the run. How are they going to stop the run and have the answers for it? Create explosive plays in both the run and the pass. We did it all year long. You know, our most explosive play, and I didn't realize this until after the season, was, hey, go fast and throw deep. You know, that's what we did. Hey, we weren't going to let them get their cleats in the ground and sit there. Now, hey, once they want to conform, they want to go back to a regular front and a regular coverage and everything else, then we would do our lookovers and we would do our freeze, our long cadence and everything else. But hey, we're going to attack. You know, it's and all this comes down to trust. And number one, trusting your players. Number two, trusting your quarterback. Hey, that he can do it at this speed and he knows where he's going with the football. Obviously, we had a great one last year and he did a great job. Be unpredictable. You know, be unpredictable. You know, hey, you know, back going through the years of hey, we're a running team and a play action pass team and a throwing team. And you know what? This year we were unpredictable. Hey, we're going to throw it deep on first down. We're going to throw it deep on second down. We're going to throw it deep on third down. You know, so hey, we kind of kept them off balance, saying, you know what? Hey, how do you want to play it? How fast do you want to play it? And you know what? Don't be scared to call it. You know, again, I go back to past times when you're calling plays that you're a run play action pass team and trying to stay out of third down. Heck, when did you call the go route? You know, it's do you call it on first down? If you don't get it, hey, it's second and long. Then what do you call? Get half of it back. So the one thing we did this year was, hey, look, we're counting on you guys. Hey, we're going to be unpredictable. We're going to throw it on every down if we have to. We're going to make them defend the field vertically and horizontally, and cover every piece of grass, like we said. Have the chalk last. You know, it's we've all been in chalk talks. We've all been in. Heck, I can remember back in the 80s and 90s. It's you're sitting there discussing and say, hey, we're going to run this, and the defensive coach gets up and say, hey, well, we're going to defend it like this, and we say, well, back then, hey, you have to have the answer. Say, okay, we'll check the run and we'll take it to the one technique, or take away from the numbers, or we'll check the pass for the route. Hey, you know what? Have the chalk last is, hey, what are you lined up in? And defenses get better at doing it. What are you lined up in? Okay, here you are. This is our best run. This is our best pass play. Here's our best play action pass against it. So most of the time you had the chalk last. And if you didn't, then your quarterback had to understand the system. And I think simplifying the system, which we did this year, kind of helps us and helps the quarterback. Ability to check to the right play. That's what we're talking about. Okay, hey, they're a quarters team. What's our best run? What's our best run tag? What's our best play action? What's our best drop back pass against it? What's our best vertical game against it? What's our best quick game against it? And be able to get to that play, okay? Put you in the best position to have success. And that's just us being able to check to the right play. Again, it's not always perfect, but as long as your quarterback understands where you want to go to the football. If we check a play, our quarterback knew 90% of the time, this is where I want him to go with the football, okay? And doing that and trying to say, you know what? We had a great offense. We had the number one offense in the country this year, and going into spring, our goal is to make it better. You know, so putting you in the best position to have success is this year. We've talked about it. Is moving our receivers around. We did a great job of doing that last year, moving our receivers around, putting Justin Jefferson, or Terrence, or Jamar in the right position to have success. Looking for mismatches. And I think the way we're trying to expand this offense is moving those guys around even more. You know, I did an interview a couple weeks ago, and we talked about, okay, hey, you know, we can't line up Jamar Chase at X all the time and allow them to double team him, you know. We can't allow them to double team Terrence Marshall or Justin Jefferson or anything else. So your running backs have to move around, your receivers have to move around, and put them in the best position. You know, I'm a firm believer in this. It's like Justin Jefferson it might be the best vertical game runner that I've been around, and having an idea of where to break it off and where to make it reads at and everything else. So you know what? Most of his catches was vertical game. You know, Jamar Chase is one of the best option game runners I've ever seen, as far as people trying to, hey, sit on him and say, look, we're going to take the inside away and we're going to take the outside away. So, hey, we have to put him in those positions. Terrence Marshall was great in the red zone. I think Terrence Marshall, because he missed a couple of games last year, would have had just as good a year as all the rest of them. So we have to move them around and make the defense see if they can match up with our best players. Protect the football. And I'm going to tell you this, it comes from the top. I'll say it right, it comes from the top. We work it every day. We drill it every day. We have a ball security period every day with every running back, every tight end, every receiver, every defensive back, every linebacker. We do a ball security drill every day. And hey, and it's big, and everybody in this room knows it. Hey, the team who doesn't turn the football over has a chance. You can read the stats on every Saturday morning, Sunday morning. And the first thing you got to go to is, hey, read the turnovers, okay? This team turned over 3 times. It's a pretty good chance they didn't win that football game, you know? But it is preached. It's the first thing that's said, well, maybe the second thing is said in Coach O's meeting. Every time we go to a meeting, it's the first thing as an offensive coach we talk about when we walk into our position meetings. The man who carries the ball carries the team. The man who carries the ball for LSU carries the state also. The man who carries the ball carries every alumni who went to this school, and it's emphasized to them. When do I have one hand on the ball? Ball's in the outside arm. On contact, we should have 2 hands on the ball at all times. And it's preached, it's drilled, and it's reinforced every day. Be physical. If you've been to our practice, I know most of you can't. Most of you have. We're a physical football team. You know, back in the day when people started going to spread, everybody talked about, well, you can't be physical in a spread. That's bull. I'm gonna tell you right, that's bull. It's all on how you practice. It's all on how you teach it. It's hey, you know what? Like I said, our best 2 plays, or best 3 plays all year was inside zone, ISO, and duo. You know what? And we practice them every day. And look, it's a point of us to say, you know what? Can we maintain? We had this talk this week as an offensive staff. We go down and watch our kids work out the weights, and the weights they're lifting is amazing. And I told Coach Moffitt, I told our office staff that the force and the energy they put in to that 1 second lift. How do we do that same lift, same force, same energy for 4 seconds? And if you can do that, and you can teach your team to do that for 4 to 6 seconds, you're teaching physicality. You know, it's you know, when I coach tight ends, I always question their physicality. I always question, hey, who do you want to be? You know, and it comes back to me to teaching the fundamentals and the hand placement, the hat placement, the leverage, and the steps and everything else. But physicality is a want to. Physicality is a mindset, okay? And you got to coach them tough, and you got to make them physical. And look, that's our job. And it comes down to you and the man in front of you. You know, hey, who's going to win that battle? Who's going to win the one-on-one battle for the team? You know, I told them all last year, when we have a double team block on that 3 technique, I expect his butt to be 4 yards deep. I tell our offensive linemen, hey, don't worry about coming off on the linebacker until you get him 4 yards deep. And you know what? If you don't block the linebacker, that's our running back's problem. You know what? Hey, we got good running backs too. Hey, he's got to be a part of this. So hey, the more you can beat them up, I'm talking about your opponent. The more you can beat them up, the more they want to give in. Okay, personnel and schemes doesn't matter. Hey, you can scheme all this all you want, but if you don't physically come off the football, if you don't physically dominate the man in front of you one-on-one, none of those schemes matter. Our players' objectives, okay? Take full responsibility. Hey, Coach O tells them every day, it's your team. It's your team. Hey, you're responsible for this outcome. You're responsible for your room, that tight end room, that running back room, that wide receiver room, that quarterback room. You're responsible for your room. And if things aren't going right, it's your responsibility. Yes, we will step in and help. Yes, we will step in and take care if we have to. But when your team and your room or the players in those rooms take full responsibility, that's when you got a chance to play for it all, okay? Don't be outworked. We tell our players every day, our freshman quarterbacks expect to be the starter. Don't let Miles outwork you. You outwork him. Same thing with receivers. You know, I used to tell my son when I wake him up in the morning, there's somebody over in Texas that's outworking you right now. Get your butt out of bed and let's go. You know, don't be outworked. Hey, that has nothing to do with talent. It doesn't matter how talented you are. Somebody can outwork you to be better. Do your job. And we say do your job is like, don't worry about the other man's job. Do your job. If your job is to run this route at 10 yards, run it. If your job is to be an A-gap as a running back, be there. If your job is to double team to the backside backer, do it. And don't point a finger and say, that's not my job. Do your job. Don't worry about the other fella. If everybody's doing their job, everything's going to turn out perfect. Be unselfish and be a great teammate. Because I can't tell you about our team last year. You talk about an unselfish team. You talk about a team that enjoyed being around each other, loving each other, everything else. A team that wanted to work. I can't tell you how many times Coach O, myself, have come up to this office on Saturdays during the off season or in the summer, and our guys are out there running player-owned practice. They're out there throwing routes on air. They're out there doing 7-on-7, okay? Our older guys do that. Our older guys teach the younger guys. They're unselfish. Hey, they go out there and they teach them to be better. They teach them to be great, and they don't worry about them taking their place. They want their teammates to be great. Coach's objectives: put you in a position to be successful. We want to put them in a position to be successful. And all the objectives we talked about earlier, how we're going to teach it, is how we do it, okay? Be committed. We're committed to make them the best that they can be. You know, myself and Coach Callaway here, and we started kind of cross-reading some of the run tags last year. Well, heck, to do it, we had to come up to drills that would teach them how to do it. So be committed and evaluate everything that your position is doing and have a drill for it to make them better. Be great teachers. Be specific, okay? Be specific. Don't be vague in this. Hey, when we run tracks, when we run our inside zone going to the left, that right foot goes heel to toe to the left foot. That left foot should align with the outside foot of the left guard, leaving the A-gap open for the inside leg of the guard for that running back to get his read. If that left foot is closed off to the inside leg of the guard, then it closes the track off for the back to push him to the center gap. It can't happen. It has to be filmed, watched, and graded every day. And be specific, like I'm saying, that's just in our run tracks being specific. Our quarterbacks are taped every day. Their footwork, the running back, same thing. And you know what? It happened yesterday on Monday's individual and stuff, okay? Hey, we were closing off our running backs to the gap. Then your running back can't stress the linebacker enough to get the cut back or whatever the cut might be. Be very specific and be very demanding when you're teaching it. This was our goals this year, going into the last year, okay? Talk about 2019 top 10 scoring offenses, okay? We finished number 1, 48.4%. The record, 15-0, 100%. And you can see the teams that we beat right there. There's some great teams there. But you know what? That's our goal next year. You know, how do you walk into a room and say, hey, you know what? The media and everybody says you lost 9 offensive starters, so you're not going to be as good. I tell them, let's go beat that record. Hey, that's the standard right now. Let's go beat that record. Top 10 LSU scoring offenses. Define the moment and let the moment define you. 2019 scoring offense, number 1 in the country. 48.4 a game, 15-0, number 1 national. 2007, ranked number 1, 38.6 points per game. Went 12-2 and still won the national championship. 2013, you can see it, okay? Finished number 14 in the country, ended up 10-3, great record. Hey, to the Outback Bowl, okay? 2011, finished number 2 in the country, right there. 2011, 13-1, played in the national championship. So all the stats mean something. 2003, finished number 1 in the country, ranked number 1 in the country, 33.9 yards, points per game. National championship. So you know what? Hey, all you got to do is show the stats. Number 1, national championship. Number 1, national championship. Number 2 in the country. Number 1, national championships. That's our goal. That's your goal. We talked about it before last year, okay? Coach Orgeron talked about it. We're building a culture on offense. This is who we are. We're going to attack. We're going to be physical. We're going to put you in position, put you in to be successful. All you got to do is buy in. We talk to them every day about the battle is won before it is fought. The battle is won in the spring, in the summer, in the tour days before you ever even get to the season. And our team bought in last year. If your team buys in, you'll have that chance also. Okay, that's exactly what we tell our players, fellas. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to Coach Russ Calloway. Coach Russ Calloway, we hired him here, and he's really, you know, we sat down and talked about individual quarterback fundamentals. How do we make them better? How do we warm up? Like I told you, hey, we've come up with drills of how we're going to cross-read this. How do we get the quarterback's feet right to throw this route on run tags? Hey, if it's not perfect, then we have to do that drill. So, Coach, we hired Coach Calloway, and I hired Coach Calloway because I think he's one of the best I've ever seen at it. And if you listen to him, you'll agree. And he's going to take us through the warm-up routine for the quarterbacks.
All right, going through it, starting with the warm-up routine, guys. First off, every day we start with the warm-up, and the reason that we do this is to serve as a self-check throughout the season. So it's easy to kind of let your fundies go, especially the upper half throughout the course of the season, with certain plays being installed, certain stuff going on throughout the course of the season. So we take this warm-up takes about 2 minutes and 55 seconds. I've timed it. All right, and you get 3 throws apiece, and we'll take you through some of these and what's being told. We'll end on the last one, the field drill, and how it applies to most everyday drill and everyday routines that we do, okay? All right, so start with the first one is the Vic flips. So as you can tell, we're starting with the last send-off of the throw. All we're doing is we're going index finger pointing down, following through, creating the nice finishing spiral touch on the football. Next one we do is tricep throws, okay? All these things are tools that can be used when your lower half is eliminated. So if my lower half's eliminated, how do I still deliver a successful football? All right, if I can only use my arm, what are my tools to be successful? And the first one is the Vic flip. The second one is the tricep throw. So if you eliminate everything from your lower half, which we'll get to here in just a second, which is the most important part, how do I still deliver a football? Well, what we tell them is we say, take that tricep and throw it to your target. left eye, right eye, left shoulder, right shoulder, aim small, miss small. If your tricep leads it, your index finger and hand will follow. Okay, then we'll go right knee. Reason we do right knee throws is to isolate the arm. All right, focus on holding the ball up, getting it up by our ear, shelving it to our 90-degree angle, getting it to the shelf, and then from there, we go tricep throw, Vic flip, index finger coming down. We're gradually progressing through our throw. Left knee right here, same deal. We're isolating the upper half. We're shelving it. As soon as I put it on the shelf, I'm taking my tricep and I'm Vic flipping it down. Next one, we'll do warm up both knees to a push-up. Okay, right here, again, this one is to work all of my momentum going towards my target. So if I'm aiming at the left eyeball, I want to get my momentum going in that direction, and I'm going to throw my tricep, and my hand and Vic flip will follow. Then we're going to go butt throws. This is a great evaluation drill for these guys. All right, it's also a good one to really work on just the motion. All right, I challenge to do this to get throughout the year to get a good self-check just on the little circle that's being created. It keeps it clean, it keeps it fresh, and it keeps it sharp throughout the year. So again, we're on our butt, tricep throw, Vic flip it down, arm isolation throw. Then we're going to work to a weight transition. Okay, weight transition is this, all right? So I'm getting used to my weight. I'm feeling where my weight is so I can control. Where's my weight? How much is on the inside part of my back foot, which is where it should be, and how much is going to be inside my core when I'm pushing and pulling. Okay, next one is going to be 6-inch step throws. In this position, what we teach is a 6-inch step. All right, a lot of people think the 6-inch step is going to be 6 inches, all right, from your base. All a 6-inch step is opening up your front toe. If you open up your front toe, that creates the 6-inch step to deliver the football. And all I want to do is open up my front hip. And how do I do that? Is I take my toe and I point it directly where it needs to go. Big coaching point on your 6-inch step is to land on your toe. Don't land on your heel. If I land on my heel, what I have done is I've locked my front leg out, and now the ball will die. If I land on my toe, I have created a shock absorber with my front knee so I can give a little bit of knee bend right there. From that point, I will shelf it, tricep throw, Vic flip it down. Then we're going to go crossover load. So again, we're progressing through our drop. So now I'm crossed over. I want to load to the golf ball, which you're going to see here in just a second at the very end. Load to the golf ball. As soon as I get my back cleats in the ground on the inside part of my back foot, I want to put it on the shelf, and I want to open my front hip with my 6-inch step so I can create the momentum and the force getting to my target. All right, then we're going to go crossover gather, crossover hitch. So I'm crossed over, the last part of my drop, the first 2 steps of a 3 steps to get the depth. The last one is to get on balance. So I'm crossed over, I'm low. I'm going to go outside my armpit, underneath my armpit to get my weight back to my 6-inch step position. Then I will create the 6-inch step by opening up my front toe. Notice the knee bend with the shock absorption. And I've created a clear path to deliver my weight, transfer my weight to where it needs to get to. Okay? Then we're going to go quick game drop, which we will catch and work our quick game drop. We are catch, laces, load to the golf ball, inside part of my back foot, push and pull. Then we will work a 3 steps with a hitch. First 2 are to get the depth that we need to my launch point. The last 1.5 is to get back underneath my framework of my body to get on balance. Now for the last one is the field drill. This is where the golf ball comes into place. The field drill is this. This is the launch point that we are trying to get to. Visualize this as a pitcher's mound. This is the last thing that we do because we want this to be the last thing that they feel before they go and have a successful practice. What this is emulating is this. Once I load to the golf ball, my weight should be on the inside part of my back foot. Imagine a rod going through my right ear, my right shoulder, my right hip, inside part of my right knee, and implanted on the inside part of my back foot. That is where 80% of my weight should be. The other 20 is going to be strictly for balance for the front foot. This really ain't worth nothing to us other than to keep myself on balance. So what the field drill does is it creates this platform and this launch point for the quarterback to know what it feels like to be in a loaded position. And when I say loaded, ready to deliver and push off and deliver a successful throw, 80-20 inside part of my back foot, push off the golf ball and explode. This is the field drill. All right, and then how they apply to the field drill. So what I'm gonna do is I've taken you through the warm-up. These are a few things that are very applicable to that drill so you can get a visualization of what we're trying to get accomplished. So we'll start off with a void board. So a void board, we're going to go cross face over the top. Okay, I put the board, we put the board there to create the visual of stepping over, of him getting used to being off balance. So this back foot is being moved constantly to get back on balance. So we create the outside rush. Notice when he lands over the board, he lands a little bit on his toe. When he lands on his toe right there, he is not on balance. He does not have his ankle bone where it needs to be. Your ankle bone sets the target line. If my ankle bone sets the target line, my back knee will follow, which my hip will follow, which has my front half in line to the target. If he feels that his ankle bone is to the left, to the right, or he's off balance and he's not in a very powerful position to deliver, he will quickly re-stomp, as you see here, and get it back loaded to the golf ball. He is in a loaded position. He's ready to push off the mound, push off the golf ball to deliver a successful throw. Here's a look at a lefty going the other way. Okay, notice when he lands on his toe. Yes, he can deliver a football with his ginormous arm and be about 60% accurate and still have success. The goal is not to be 60% though. The goal is to be 75%. So if we can be 80 to 85% in our perfect scenario situations, which these are considered perfect scenario situations, when I'm put in a non-perfect scenario situation, throwing on the move, throwing against pressure, whatever it may be, if I'm 60% on those, then that'll get me to be 75. So if I can be 85 to 90 in these perfect scenarios, that is gonna be the difference in being a successful passer. So when he lands over, he lands on his toe. What we will tell him, you're not on balance. You have no control of your lower half, which is going to cause inconsistency in your upper half. So what we tell him to do is to re-stomp, get your cleats back in the ground, ankle bone where it needs to be, knee, hip will follow. I will then take a 6-inch step to open it up and deliver my successful shelf tricep throw, Vic, flip it down. Here's another one. Very good, opposite side pressure. Notice when he lands, he doesn't feel good about where his ankle bone is. The target is at the curl window to the right. His ankle bone is loaded to the dig window. So what we tell him to do is to re-stomp, get it back where it needs to be, cleats in the ground, pushing off the pitcher's mound, off the golf ball. Here's another visualization of a different way to get to it. Clock low, we ignite the fast feet for confusion. We will call out the direction. We will go right. Notice Miles' cleats are in the ground. He is on the golf ball. He's pushing off, transferring his weight. We will reset and go left middle. Notice cleats are in the ground. His ankle bone is to the left middle, which everything else follows. It all starts with the ankle bone. We will then go right middle, or back to the middle, excuse me. We will set it back where it needs to be, to the right middle. Ankle bone sets it, cleats in the ground. Everything else follows. I'm able to push and pull. Okay, those are 2 drills to show you of the visualization of the field drill. Again, right, cleats in the ground, ankle hit ball. Left, cleats in the ground, ankle hit ball. Right middle, we're loaded, we're pushing and pulling.
Thank you, Russ. Okay. We have plenty of clips of this, but I'm going to I'm going to show you some of this, and I'm going to show you how we blocked it. This was our #1 running play. Was our duo scheme, and we can do it same side, we can do it opposite side, everything else. I've talked on this before, so I'm going to show you about 10 clips, whatever, and we'll move on to the passing game. Take the drawings out. Okay. The reason we like this play is we should get 2 double teams across the line right here. Now, it doesn't happen in this particular front right here, which is an odd front, but we're going to get a double team right here for sure. We're going to get, because of blitz, we don't get a double team with the tight end and tackle, but most of the time it'll be a 5 technique, and we do get a double team here, and we climb to the backer right there, okay? This is a different scenario in the fact that we're in a 4-minute situation right here, okay? We would usually have a run tag on this, and the quarterback is responsible for the 7th defender. So right here, we're going to get a man-man hit. We're going to get a double team here. Unless it's blitz, okay, we're going to get a double team here. So we're going to get movement at 2 points is the reason we love this play right here. Now, the guy blitz, we had to come off and everything else. Quarterback is responsible for this guy right here, okay? Hey, that guy will coming down here and take the running back. He'd keep it. Now, again, in other sets and other formations, the quarterback would read this guy, and we would have a run tag to take care of that guy. Again, a different formation right there, but the beauty of it, this is a little different stunt right there. But hey, we know we're going to get double team here. This right tackle right here should get more in with the guy slanted out. So we're going to get a double team here, all right? And again, we can block these 6. The quarterback is responsible for the 7th one right here. We can do it. We can do it by a run tag, or we can do it by him running the football. Again, we're going to get movement here, right? They slanted into it. Hey, and look, they squeezed it off, did a good job. And Sadiq did enough job to get him around the corner right there. Okay, but we're going to get double teams. We're going to get push off the football. Again, this tackle needs to be a little slower right here and try to get a piece of him and climb to the linebacker. The quarterback will take care of this one.
All right, Coach Insminger, question came through. So when you say run tag, that means like your RPOs, yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. And so the question is, you know, what like percentage are you calling a design play action, or are they RPOs? Do you have a run tag for every run play? You know, maybe talk about the difference between the play action and RPO.
We do. And I'll say, I'm looking at the board right now. We have 3 different schemes in the fact that, hey, one's a run tag, and usually on every, I won't say every, half our runs is always have a run tag on it to take care of the 7th defender. Some of our runs is a triple option, meaning, okay, hey, the end crashed down, the quarterback kept the football, but we have a bubble going on, or we have another route going on down here. But unless it's a 4-minute deal, on probably half our running plays, we'll always have a run tag on it.
Coach, another question coming in for the running back. What's his aiming point, and then what's he looking at for his cut?
In this duo, and we'll take it right here. In this duo, if we're running same side, which we're doing right here, okay, then his point of aim is inside leg of the guard right here, and he's reading the middle backer. Okay, we put him on the opposite side. If we put him on the opposite side right there, knowing we're going to get flow from backer, then his point of aim is crack of the center right there, and he's reading the backside backer. And you'll see all those scenarios in this. So we get a great double team right here. If they stayed in a base, we'd get a great double team right here. They slanted, he climbs to the backer right there. Clyde is taking a step over. We're bringing the ball to him right there. He's in he's really right behind the guard, the crack of the guard right there, and he's reading the play side backer. All right, here we go, okay? They would go here. Here's the point. Hey, we are double teaming to here. He has this gap. He has this gap. These two receivers right here are responsible for number one and the nearest threat. It might be him. It might be him. All right? So it's the same side. So the quarterback brings it to him. He ends up right behind the guard, crack of the guard right there. He's reading this backer right here. He's slow to, fast through. The backer jumps here. He takes it backside. Again, it's the same side. He ends up right behind the guard. He's reading play side backer. Backer shuffles this way. He knows he's going back. Our guard right here does a really good job. He shuffles down to get the double team. The guy slants. He works back out to help the tight end, or to help him more, and then climbs to the backer. These two receivers are responsible for the point and whoever's the nearest threat, whether it's a safety or a corner. And this was kind of a messed up deal, but we're attacking it right and everything else. It's just a lot of movement, and because of this play, we do get a lot of movement, okay? And because of the movement, then we have to decide, hey, we need to go to our zone concept. We need to go to our inside zone or outside zone when we start to get a lot of movement right here, okay? So hey, these two are fixed to double team here to here. He's working here. He's working there. These two are working inside. He slants. He should climb to here. These two are responsible for the two threats outside. This guy basically ran himself out of it. Again, we ought to get a double team here. We ought to get a double team here, and we'll single here. These two take care of the perimeter. It's the same size, so he's reading here. To be honest with you, he should have kept this thing right here. But you can't tell great running backs what to run. You can give them some direction. Now this is a defense we hadn't seen, and all of a sudden, so hey, we had to make some adjustments on the sideline and everything else. So hey, if we're running the same side right here out of this particular set, okay, hey, I've got this gap, I've got this gap, I've got this gap, I got this gap. Hey, and let it unfold. Somebody's coming to your gap. There it is. There's my gap. D-Lou steps down right here. I think he's a little heavy on it. But hey, he has this gap. Now, Austin, right here. These two have these two gaps. So, hey, he got to get his eyes back inside, which he does. And he gets there. We're reading it. And Clyde does a great job of selling it downhill, making this guy step up so our tackle can get on it and then bounce it. Again, this is a lot of movement, and I'll try to get you to a better one, okay? Hey, basically in the third quarter, they got out of that defense and went to a base defense. So we got a chance now, again, what we talked about. Let's get movement here, and we needed to against these guys. Double team here, get movement, same side, bring it to him. He's right behind the guard. He's reading play side backer. And Clyde does a great job of getting in the hole right there. This guy squats in the hole, and he bounces it. Yeah, this is what you're looking for right here, okay? Hey, and we're going fast here. You can see the official trying to get out. This is one of those plays that I think you can go as fast as you want because it's basically a gap play. It's a power, no pull. Hey, I'm going to step down to my gap, and we're going to double team. We get great movement here. We get a great double team here. I mean, we got them 4 yards off the ball right there. Great job by our tight end. We're reading play side backer. He steps up in the hole. Clyde does a great job of getting his cleats to the line of scrimmage and then make the cut. Same thing. Really good double team here. Really good pad level, really good mesh, really good double team right there. Now also step down the double team here. Didn't slant away, but he felt no pressure, so he helped work back outside and get the double team here. He helped the tight end right there. And really, I thought we were a little too fast to the hole, but you can see where this hole should be right here. Again, you can see the defense. This is a play that you can go fast on because, hey, it's gap. So, hey, I got those two. We should be doubling here. We should be doubling there right there. These two take care of the perimeter right there. They're still looking for the call, what to line up in. Let's go. Nice movement on the double team right here. Boom. He slants in. So, Torrey, our tight end right here. Now he climbs right there. Take care of the perimeter. Nice double team right here. Nice double team right here. We're going to get movement there. Nice job by the tight end. These two are responsible for those two. All right, Russ, take us to passing game. I was going to show you some RPOs. We kind of showed that in the clinic in the spring. So I'm going to bypass and go to a couple of our passing concepts. If you, Neil, if anybody has a question about that play right now, please tell me, or we can move on.
Coach, I think we're good right now as far as questions go. You can
Okay.
go to the bench route.
Okay. We're going to go to our routes right here. This is our bench route, which is a play that our quarterback really likes. Okay. And basically, it's basically we call it bench route because everything goes to the bench. Everything comes the same side. Okay. We have a corner route here. We have an arrow route by the running back. We have a spray dig by the tight end. We have a shallow route by the F. Then we have an under route, which is a 5-yard vertical, horizontal down the line right there. We like this route, quarterbacks like this route, and we like this route to go fast because it's a straight progression read, meaning, hey, set hut, hey, all I got to do is, hey, I'm alert the corner. Okay, if it's one-on-one and he gets a great release, I'm going there, okay? If not, hey, I'm going to the tailback. The halfback's coming out in the flat. Does the linebacker take it? Fine. Then I'm looking for the shallow route. He displaced and went to the arrow, so, hey, we can replace him with the shallow route. Okay, the backside backer right here, he displaces and takes a shallow route. Then we're looking for the dig. And if not, the fifth progression is to the under. And yes, you'll see it on film here. We have gotten to the under. He liked the one-on-one matchup. He likes the grass down here. I'm one-on-one. I got a great receiver right here. One-on-one with a defensive back. I'm going to it. Same thing. Now they got a guy over the top of it, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, pre-snap read, I'm not liking the corner route, okay? I could check the arrow route right here to see if this linebacker comes, and if he does, we get back to our progression, which is shallow, basic, to the under. I thought he should have thrown this one, okay? He didn't like it. So he gets back to the shallow. The linebackers close on it. So he gets on top to the basic. All right. He sees the guy roll. He likes the grass. Hey, there's a void area right here. There's a void. Knowing I got an arrow route, there's a void area. All right. He keeps the corner now. No, hey, I want to throw the corner. Keeps the guy up. Gets to the corner route. If he didn't like it, or if this guy backed up, he'd throw the arrow. If this guy went too wide, he'd get back to the shallow route. If he didn't like it, he'd get back to the basic.
Coach, question about the depth of that basic route, that big cut. How deep are you getting on it?
12 yards.
12 yards.
Yes. And this is a pretty good one right here, okay? Guy sitting on top. Hey, eliminated. He don't even look at it, okay? He goes to the back. Hey, end drops off with it, all right? Get back to the basic. Get back to the shallow. Guys running with him. Get back to the basic. They did a good job of covering this, okay? Buy you some time, shuffle around, get back to the fifth read. Corner gets held up. Arrow gets held up. Get to the shallow. Nope. Linebacker jumped it, but he left the void in the middle of the field. Get to the basic. And the beauty of this route and the beauty of this concept, like I said, it's a straight progressive read for the quarterback. But you can see we've hit every player on this field right here. You can see we're in different formation. You can see that, hey, Clyde's sitting down here running the under route. You see where his eyes go. His eyes go right here. He's held up. Okay, get to the arrow. He's held up. Get to the shallow. And one thing we do with this third receiver is we spray it. I mean, we get a little width with it, okay? It should be a 3-step burst outside and then vertical. And it kind of keeps this guy from jumping it so quick, especially in off coverage.
Receiver, do you give him specifics about his release? Does he have to go outside to just take the easiest release?
On which one?
The single receiver running the corner route. Okay.
Right, again, there's a guy sitting over the top. Probably eliminated that guy, okay? But he still checked his arrow out. They screwed it up. They blissed it. Nobody's left on the back. And the beauty of it is where the quarterback's eyes go. He stays in progression. He gets the ball to him, and we're up the field. If not, he gets to the shallow route. If not, get to the basic, to the under.
Coach, another question came through. Is there anything in particular you're looking at from the defense to call bench?
No, to be honest with you, we have, and there's some different schemes off of it, but this is a fastball play for us. A straight progression play where the quarterback knows where his eyes are going. We try to go fast on this play. All right, last one, and we'll get on something else. Again, alert. Hey, we'd love to have this route. Guy does a good job. All right. But he ends up picking his own linebacker. Get the ball to him. Russ, let's go to the next concept. All right, what we talked about is what we did a good job of, okay, and our receivers did a great job of, and our quarterbacks did a great job. Is we're going to throw the ball deep, and I told you earlier that our most successful play, our most efficient play was go fast and throw the ball deep. Okay, this Travolta right here is nothing but go routes. We can do it at a lot of different ways. We can do it with 6-man protection. We can do it off a play action pass. We can do it off flash protection and getting every receiver out. But hey, it is go route, middle read for the inside receiver right here. And then, hey, we can include the tight end and the running back in the scheme, or we can play action pass this route to get the linebackers to step up. You'll see all of it. We can play action pass this route right here, which is go, middle read with a bender right there, or he can take the middle of the field right there. And all we're trying to do is get linebackers to step up, whatever, and then we still have check downs with our flash read and with our tight end running a drag route. And all we read is this: where's the safeties at? Okay, can he help on the go? If not, that's my number one read. If he stays there, he's eliminated our over route right here. Okay, so hey, the read is I'm going here right now. He has no help. That's one-on-one, or I can go here. It's all on a matchup. We study it. We walk in there and say, this is the corner we want to attack. This is the matchup that we want. Same thing, play action pass. Taking a wide play. We even get a chip with our tight end right here to help our tackle out. We're reading this safety. He rolls to the middle. That's the matchup we want. If he didn't like it or he got held up, he'd get back to the middle of the field read. Right here, which is also open. All right, we know right now, as soon as this safety did this, came to double this guy right here, we go from 1 to 2 to check down. I'm surprised, but he didn't throw this one right here. But, you know, it's kind of like, hey, I like that matchup. But he faked it. It's a great play action pass right here. And we got 7-man protection. We got linebackers stepping up right here. So, hey, he sees the safety roll. It's eliminated right here. He goes 1 to 2.
Coach, on the outside, how often do you let the receivers and the quarterback run, or do you call it from the gate?
You're
on the stop
up,
route.
Okay.
I'll try again. Yeah, the outside receivers, do you call it the stop route when they run it, or is it they're reading it on the run?
No, we call it. We run this.
Okay.
And I hope I have time to get to it. We'll run this route right here with the overread, with the go route. We'll also run the stop routes with the over route with the same action, whether it's play action pass or not.
Got it.
Now that's something, you know, like this is another one, especially in play action fast, that we're going to go play action fast. We're going to go fast and get the ball out of our hands. I don't care. I've told quarterback, I don't care if they send 8. We're not taking a sack on the go route. He shuffles to the middle. We're 1-on-1. That's the matchup we want. Take it. And again, we do have a check down. I just put it on there to show you, hey, okay, they bail, they play quarters. Guy does a great job of taking the deep over route right here, but somebody's got to take the check down. I'm gonna show you this. I'm trying to get to one of the middle reads for you guys. Again, another one. We're going fast. They're not set. They're not set. Play action. And this is something, look, we throw go routes every day, all right? And we throw back shoulder throws every day. And it's something you got to work on. Again, it's a play action. It's actually 7-man protection. We got our one-on-ones. We got one-on-ones. We want to throw the ball deep. I want to get to one more on the middle read. I think this is it right here. Good. Right there. This guy stayed over here. He saw the bail right there. Get to your middle read. Okay. The next one we only got a few minutes. Neil, you want me to take questions or you want me to show you this clip?
So, Coach, there was one question on the bench route that popped up right as you were wrapping up. Do you ever use that, the 3 receiver side, you know, with everybody coming under like that drive concept? Do you ever use that as a tag to another concept? Or will you do that out of empty, or is it almost always in that 2-by-1 set?
No, we do it out of empty. We do it out of every set. And there is a there's a concept that we use that we call escape, to where the shallow route will run like a shallow, will still run the basic right there, and he'll plant his foot out 7 steps and come right back out. That makes sense, Neil?
Okay.
Okay.
I think so. I think so.
We've got a few minutes left, and like I said, hey, our whole season was vertical game. Vertical game. All right. We got the vertical game. We got 4 verts. Go route, over. It's a reed bender. He can keep it vertical, or he can bend it. This guy here has a go route right there. Now we do it out of every formation known to man. Hey, we move our running back out of there to open space for our over routes and bender routes. I put this one on here because I just thought it was a great play by Joe Burrow. I'll be honest with you. All right. Here's your over route right here. Boom. Got a shot at it. Here's a guy who doesn't have to bend. Okay. Hey, I'll read right now. If you like your matchup here, fine. If not, you get to 1 to 2 to 3. Can we get him out of there? It's 4 verts. Man. Now you look for your over. And this tight end right here should be right down the middle of the field right there, in case this guy's helping. So you get the over, or you get your matchup right down the middle of the field. A little wrinkle to it. We run our vertical game, and we shallow our X right here. If they stay in zone, then we high-low it right here with the X and with the running back. So you can see if this guy was carried it vertical too much, we give the ball to run back. This guy came off right here. We would still read the bender. They took care of that, but we replace it with the X sitting right there. This was the play of the game. I had to show it, probably the last one I showed right here. Hey, the only thing we did different right here is we went from 5-man protection to 6-man protection to pick up the blitz right here. Clyde does a great job. Joe does a great job. So, hey, we got a go route. He's bailing. He's bailing. So we get away from it. We get right back inside to our over route. And if he don't win, we get back inside to our bender right here. Neil, I wish I had more time. I hope that was helpful for everybody. I enjoyed it. For all the high school coaches especially. Coach Orgeron's deal around here is, hey, this place is wide open for all of you, okay? When they open this darn thing back up, you know? So, hey, if you want to come up here and visit when they open it up, we'd love to. There's a lot more I'd love to show you. And I think we're doing some pretty good things right now. So we'd love to share it with anybody who would like to share it, okay?
All right, Coach Insminger, man, thank you so much for your time. Coach Calloway as well. Doug O'Quinn helping out with some of the video stuff. Guys, a lot of folks say that at clinic talks, but Coach Insminger means that there's high school coaches that go by all the time and attention that they need. And we really appreciate that here in the state of Louisiana, having such great support from Coach O and his coaching staff. So, Coach E, thanks a lot so much for your time and effort tonight. And congrats again on last year, but we're excited about this year.
Thank you, Neil. Good luck to y'all also, okay?
All right. Good night.